Ladies and welcome to another episode of Heroes Mode. Welcome to Superstars, the final episode of Superstars before we shall head into the Bash pay-per-view. I am insanely sick, which is why I'm probably going to cough a lot in here. And also, I've been better for the past couple hours. But in total, not feeling all that good. Still doing this stuff because I'm not consistent enough with these Heroes Mode episodes as I was 3 weeks ago compared to now. But anyway, here we go. Guerrero makes his way into the ring. And he's going to be in our opening matchup to kick things off on Superstars. As he is going to take on, Shelton Benjamin. So this should be an interesting matchup. But first off, in your main event here tonight, from the Smackdown brand, Big Show, he's going to go one-on-one with the big man, Luke Gallows. Gallows has suffered a loss previously to the big red monster, Kane, on Smackdown. And Big Show, he just hasn't really been a big main factor in Heroes Mode. It's probably because he needs a victory. Can he get that one over Luke Gallows? As Chavo now in the ring, and here comes his opponent, the gold standard, Shelton Benjamin. I believe Benjamin's last matchup was a couple weeks ago on SmackDown, in which he lost, I believe, Drew McIntyre. Probably could have been the latest episode of SmackDown now that I think about it. Not too sure about it though. But Shelton's last matchup lost to the Intercontinental Champion Drew McIntyre, or probably Dolph Ziggler. Either way, Shelton, he needs a win here tonight. Can he get one over Guerrero here tonight to kick things off on Superstars? Also, immediately after this matchup, we shall get a recap to the final closing moments of ECW, in which Vince McMahon, he made, a shocking announcement, to say at least, about the ECW brand. And, it's kind of why there's no ECW matches here tonight. Up next will be a Raw Divas contest, and then the main event will be Gallows and Show, which, of course, is another SmackDown matchup, like this opening contest here between Shelton and Chavo. So, ECW not going to have a matchup here tonight on Superstars, which is weird, especially considering for these past 2 weeks on Superstars, I believe ECW have actually main evented Superstars, although I could be mistaken though. Anyway, now Chavo going to start things off the gate with a spinning heel kick, and now Chavo Guerrero here looking for a big momentum booster as he takes him down with a flow over DDT. Chavo Guerrero definitely needs a big win here tonight, and he has a credible opponent in Shelton Benjamin, and Sheldon, of course, he knows that Chavo is tough. Chavo is going to give him a fight as well, so this is going to be a good contest between these two. SC right there, nice turn crown by Chavo Guerrero. So overall, immediately off the gates, Chavo, with that pitbull mentality here, working on Sheldon. And both Sheldon and Chavo, they haven't really been a big factor of SmackDown, which is why they're working here on Superstars. Then we shall see if they could, whoever picks up win, definitely got to think they'll be showcasing SmackDown in the future. It's not, Sheldon was previously showcased, and I believe Chavo was as well. If not the latest episode of SmackDown, then definitely 2 weeks ago. Although I could be mistaken in that one though. But both of these two men need some big momentum boosters here. So no other better momentum booster than to win a matchup here in Superstars, end up, being showcased in the Raw and SmackDown card. As to build up your talent. Let's see right there, German suplex right there by Sean. These two amazing athletes. The fact that they haven't been showcased in SmackDown as much is kind of weird, but only got ultimate matches to do. Let's see right there, Sheldon. Just barely skims by Chavo. Chavo didn't take all much damage. I believe he got hit in the back of the head. But Sheldon, he took the worst of that one, and now Sheldon getting drop kicked in the back for shows, but Chavo was not that effective, and Sheldon teaching him how to do it right there. But Chavo going down right there. So Sheldon saying, what you could do, I could do way better. And, Sheldon, he did it with one leg compared to Chavo doing it with two. And now Sheldon has him up German suplex again. Second one in this matchup by Sheldon. Some damage being done to Chavo Guerrero, and now what's this? Amateur wrestling road or something like that. I'm not really too sure, but definitely an amateur wrestling maneuver. Sheldon, of course, him and a couple other superstars experience in amateur wrestling, such as Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler, of course, no more contender for the Intercontinental Championship. He shall challenge Drew McIntyre at the Bash for the Intercontinental toss. Here, their side Russian leg sweep by Sheldon. Taking down Chavo so far. Haven't been coughing on much. To be fair, kind of holding it in. My cough has gotten better since past couple hours. But yeah, anyway, now here we go. Another German suplex. Third one in this matchup here by Shelton Benjamin. And now gets an elbow drop to connect to a knee. Kind of weird. And now what's this? Head scissors right there by Chavo Guerrero from the Guerrero legacy. And, he's doing pretty good for himself here against Sheldon now all of a sudden. Oh, never mind. Sheldon going to turn that around here. Major competitive matchup so far here between these two great SmackDown competitors, as you see right there. Chavo taking him down. Chavo, of course, clearly does not have the size advantage, but showcases a lot of strength against a man who is bigger than him in Shelton Benjamin. See right there, Hurricane Rana by Chavo Guerrero. And now Guerrero off the elbow drop. Gets another one to connect right to the back. Shelton going down from that one. And now Shelton gonna fight back here. A couple strikes. Chavo blocks that one. Has him in the headlock here. And Chavo getting the need to connect. So far, competitive. Very competitive here. And now Carnell with tap. Oh, never mind. Shelton with not Shelton. Chavo with an eye rake. And now has him up here. Suplex. Oh, here we go. The Three Amigos. Second suplex. And now time for a third one here. Chavo vintage. Right there. The tribute to it. The late great Eddie Guerrero on Chavo's part. Amazing maneuver. And now what's this? Has him up. And now completely forgot what this is called. Gory Bomb? I could be... Was it the Gory Bomb? Or was that Frog Smash? That was a Gory Bomb. Well, anyway, it's going to get the job done on Shelton Benjamin here tonight. So I guess it doesn't matter what it is. Chavo, big time victory here tonight on Superstars against Shelton Benjamin. Chavo Guerrero, great performance on his part. Big momentum booster, big victory heading into, well, for the next couple weeks. Shall see what Chavo has to bring to the table. Anyway, now we're going to have to go into a more serious type manner here. So let's see what happened to end off Tuesday's ECW. Vince McMahon here, the chairman of the World Wrestling Entertainment. And well, did you like it? Did you hardcore viewers of Extreme Championship Wrestling? Did you like this edition of ECW? Well, good for you, because this will certainly be your last edition. You see, for the past couple of weeks, I've been sick and tired of seeing these extreme wrestlers, this extreme talent, the part-timers and the newcomers come here to ECW and put on some great matches. If you want to consider it great, please. At this point, I've had enough of ECW, and well, as of late, I've been thinking of doing some show cuts, which is why ECW is a perfect example. ECW is a completely useless show that I could have not debuted in the first place. I did because so many people didn't get put on Raw or Smackdown, at least didn't get enough screen time, and then all of you fans wanted to see them. Well, that's no more. This is a failed experiment. And at the Bash will be the final ECW matchup between Christian and Zack Ryder. After that, every current ECW superstar will go back to what brand was their own. Everyone will go from both, they'll go back to both Raw and Smackdown. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching ECW, because this was your final one, because it's now time to burn this dumpster fire down to the ground that was known as Extreme Championship Wrestling. Good night, everyone. Well, there you go. Very questionable on Vince's part, if you ask me, because ECW, if you ask me, it wasn't doing bad. It had a mix of rookies and veterans, and at some points it had some in-between stuff as well. ECW was doing good, and I'm not sure. Well, Vince did say the last ECW matchup will be between Christian and Zack Ryder at the Bash, but it's like, after that, where do we go on from there? Will these three tell be going to Raw? Will be going to SmackDown? Will these three tell just end all together? And where would Christian and Ryder go? Because they're signed to the ECW brand. Everyone else that was in ECW obviously is signed to the ECW brand as well, such as a veteran like Terry Funk, or such as a new rookie up-and-comer like, well, AJ Styles. And now ECW is no longer a thing, so now, if they are to go to Raw and SmackDown, how would that work? Would they randomly get drafted there? Or would Vince send them back? Well, he sent them back to their original brands. So, for example, before ECW debuted, Ryder was originally on Raw, and before Christian debuted on ECW and became the ECW champion in the first episode of the newly revived ECW here in Nearest Mode, he was on SmackDown before. So how would that work? Would they get drafted? For example, Christian could go to Raw, Ryder could go to SmackDown, or will they go back to their original brands before they came to ECW, such as Christian going back to SmackDown or Ryder going back to Raw? And now here's my question: where does this leave superstars who, just returned or debuted here in the day, and they came back in ECW, or debuted in ECW? For example, AJ Styles, he wasn't signed to any brand. He debuted in ECW. He wasn't signed to SmackDown or Raw before that. So will he get drafted, or will he just be forgotten? And another one could be Jake the Snake Roberts or Terry Funk. Yes, well, Roberts has only had one matchup in ECW. Funk has had like 2 or 3. They returned to the day on ECW. So where would they go? Would they just be forgotten or would they be drafted? We shall see. A whole lot of questions being raised here, and I highly doubt we're going to get any answers this Friday on Smackdown. So if anything, I feel like, I don't even know, probably on Raw? Maybe at the Bash this Sunday? I have no idea, but anyway, going into the Divas contest here for Raw. And well, of course, I believe 2 weeks ago on Substars, we did have Eve take on Think About it, what was 16 minutes of, well, repetitiveness. To be fair, it wasn't really a good matchup, which is sad to say, because Eve is a great competitor. Think About it is but anyway, Eve she kept hitting a whole lot of maneuvers. She could have pinned Think About it on more than 5 occasions, if you ask me. But when, on the rare amount of times that Eve actually did, Think About it actually kept kicking out. And not to mention the fact that Think About it actually ultimately won, even though she took way more damage compared to Eve. But yes, it was an interesting matchup, to say the least. And right here tonight, Eve is now going to try to see how she can fare against the other twin in Brie Bella. We shall see if Brie could also get a victory to match her twin sisters. Here tonight on Superstars, let's see right there. Elbow was missed. Eve ducking underneath, has her taking her down. Nice takedown with the legs right there. Very innovative, and now multiple elbows here. Trying to wear down Brie Bella here tonight on Superstars. Of course, up next, SmackDown will main event. Superstars here tonight, Luke Gallows and The Big Show 1-on-1. And now Eve finding a way with a couple elbows. And now Eve Torres here. Gonna send her off into the corner. Brie's in trouble. And Eve now has her up. We're going to go high risk here. Or at least the Divas are. Multiple strikes here. And Brie just falls back down. Eve, surprisingly enough, thought she was going to go for a superplex or something like that. But just punching Brie Bella repeatedly until she fell down. And now Eve not going to take advantage. And Brie, well, she's going to take advantage of Eve. Not really doing anything after those strikes. Misses the kick though. And now Eve here has her Irish whip off the ropes. Goes Brie. And now hip toss right there. Nicely done by Eve Torres. Of course, these two women could definitely be future Divas champions here on Raw. Or Women's champions on Smackdown once the draft will happen. But now, here we go. Elbow right across the head. And now Eve taking her down once again. And now Eve, we saw her do a whole lot of these against Nick Bell. Those moonsaults right there. She did a whole lot of those on Brie's sister. And now she also did a whole lot of these. The top rope moonsaults. Hopefully we don't get, basically a simulation of what happened weeks back with the Nikki and Eve matchup. Because, of course, Eve did do a whole lot of those moonsaults. And, of course, those weird sentons as well. And Brie Bella off the crossbody. And now Brie gets a kick to connect right to the side of the head. Perfectly placed if you ask me. And Brie Bella now another kick. And Eve definitely doesn't know where she's at right now. 2 kicks right to the side of the head. Definitely devastating. And Brie gonna turn her opponent around here. Side Russian leg. Oh, never mind. Turn her down. Face planting her down to a mat. Gets an inverted side Russian leg sweep. Not really too sure if that really is. And now this annoying, I guess, variation of snap mirror that the Bellas do. It really does get annoying after a while. And now the kick right to the back. Eve on the hot, no, not Eve. Brie Bella on the hot rope momentum here against Eve. And now Eve gonna look to turn things around here back into her favor here in Night on Superstars. These two deals represent the Raw brand, of course. Of course, 6 deals on Raw, 6 deals on SmackDown. And at the Bash, of course, Eve and the Bella Twins, both of them, will not be at the Bash, while the other 3 deals here on Raw, Natalya, Gail Kim, and of course, current Divas champion Melina, they will be at the Bash for that triple threat for the Divas championship. While over on SmackDown, we shall have Maurice challenge Beth Phoenix for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Not SmackDown Women's Championship, the Women's Championship, I should say. Raw, of course, has the deal style. SmackDown has they have the regular Women's Championship. But right now, here we go. Eve has her taking her down with a sleeper hold driver, I guess, headlock driver. Not really headlock, so I guess sleeper hold. And now more of these elbows here. Wearing down Brie Bella. Nicely done on the part of Eve here. Gonna send her to the middle of the ring. And now was still gonna go for a weird ass senton. Nope, just gonna pin her. Those elbows to the shoulder, did they have a major effect on Brie? No, they didn't. And if they did, it wasn't major enough. As Brie would kick out at 2. And now Eve has her by the arm here. What she's looking for. Wearing down her arm for a short period of time. Gets her the drop kick shortly after. Nicely done on part of Eve here. And now Eve waiting for Brie to be perfectly placed here. Has her go behind. And now kick shortly after. Brie struggling to get back the momentum that she had a couple seconds ago. As Eve is on a major toll of offense. Never mind. I always jinx it for any competitor, really. And now Brie here has her. And Bulldog. Nicely done on, well, one half of the Bella Twins. In Brie Bella now going to turn Eve towards around. Has her. And this time it's a side Russian next week compared to earlier. And now leg drop shortly after. And now Brie Bella, here we go, the kick to the back. Stomp shortly after. Very competitive matchup once again. Superstars all about the competitive matches. Rarely at any time here in Superstars will you see squash matches. As well, the Chavo and Shelton one was very competitive, although Chavo did rule a majority of that matchup, surprisingly, but Chavo had a couple of good moments, more than, say, the Shad and Primo matchup weeks ago on ECW. So Superstars, we don't really have squash matches here in Superstars. Luckily enough, it's more of a type thing for Superstars that will usually get squashed, such as maybe Chavo. You know, and they compete against Superstars that are like equal to them. Which is weird to say, because we also have amazing Superstars such as, well, former dual champion, of course, CM Punk held both the World Title and the Intercontinental weeks back. Now he no longer has any of those. McIntyre now holds the Intercontinental. Taker now holds the World Title. Punk will get another opportunity, though, to win back the World Title. So he's going to take on the Undertaker at the Bash. Another meeting between those two men. Anyway, now Brie off the pin here. And can this be it? And yes, it is. Brie Bella with the victory against Eve Torres here tonight on the Monday Night Raw Divas Showcase matchup here in Superstars. Big time victory for Brie Bella. Chavo had a great victory against Shelton earlier on to kick us off in the night. Brie, well, major one against Eve, and Eve, she's still struggling to rack up some wins here in Euros mode. Losing to both Nikki and now Brie. So losing to both of the Bella Twins, not too good for her. And well, up next we shall have the Smackdown Showcase matchup as Brie now leaving the ring. And Eve, well, she's also leaving the ring. Eve looking devastated. Well, she had one hell of a fight. Not gonna be able to get one up on the Bella Twins, however, here tonight. Or at least on one of them, at least. Anyway, now here we go. The Smackdown Showcase, the main event Superstars here tonight, brought to you by the Smackdown brand. And here comes the big man, Luke Gallows, the former Straight Edge Society member. And we'll see, Punk was basically a savior for Luke Gallows, the Straight Edge Society. Now Punk, well, he basically doesn't want to be aligned with Punk anymore. He's been at that for a couple of weeks, and if not, well, then maybe at this point, maybe even a month or two at this point, Euros mode wise. And so Gallows still not really all that likable. I mean, he's slightly more likable because, you know, he's not aligned with CM Punk. But then it's like Gallows wants to make a name for himself by himself. Maybe his attitude's not the greatest, not all that respected around here. But we shall see if he could rack up a win here against the world's largest athlete in the Big Show. Not really sure who actually gets the size advantage here. We shall see when this matchup begins. If Gallows actually has the size advantage over Big Show, well then we shall see what happens there. Anyway, now here comes, well, one of the great World Wrestling Entertainment veterans. Here comes the Big Show. And well, to be fair, of course, the Big Show has the size to him, obviously, but well, Big Show hasn't been all that successful since the beginning of Euros mode. I believe Big Show, he still has not gotten one single victory at all, whether it's a singles contest or a multi-man contest. Big Show has not won one single match here in Euros mode. I believe he's actually 0-4 or 0-5. Kane actually had that record of the Big Show at one point, but Kane has actually gotten 2 or 3 victories, which now makes him, I believe, 2-4 or 3-4 now. And Big Show, well, can he get that same success as Kane? Because Big Show, he only has losses under his belt. He does not have one win under his belt. one of Kane's victories to make him, not have the record of the Big Show, is of course over Luke Gallows in the latest edition of Smackdown. Anyway, here we go. Big Show towering over Luke Gallows. Imagine if Gallows towered over the Big Show. That would definitely be immense. Inside, see it here, their major big boo by the big man and Big Show. Can this be a victory for him here tonight on WWE Superstars? Big Show, he needs a victory, and will he get it? So far, not looking too good as Luke Gallows, the big man, lifting up the other fellow big man. He launched the Big Show. Not many people can even lift up Big Show, let alone launching that distance. This is probably the greatest feat of strength we've ever seen in Nearest Mode, maybe in WWE history, whereas they've thrown the Big Show that far. Sure, you could say Cena has always picked him up with the attitude adjustments. Sure, you could say that maybe Hogan lifted him up at one point or another. But never, I would like to think, never has anyone ever lifted up Big Show and tossed him, especially that much of a great feat like that. And if there is, well then, I don't know, I highly doubt that either way. And right now, Big Show has Gallows goozled. He's not too happy about getting launched around like that. Choke slammed him down, and Big Show is not done yet, lifting him up once again. And another big boo, I believe the third one in this matchup by the Big Show, looking for his first victory here in Nearest Mode. Currently with an 0-4 or maybe an 0-5 record, so he's not doing too well. And so, if anyone needed a victory here tonight on Superstars, of all the other Superstars that have competed here tonight, also including Gallows, Big Show would be the one that needs the most. He needs his victory the most. Gallows also coming off lost to Kane in the latest episode of Smackdown. The big red monster Kane coming back with the old red and black mask, the red and black attire that we were used to seeing him, rock for a while back then. In the attitude there, of course. Yes, I just broke kayfabe, but whatever. And right now, Gallows here taking him down, clubbing close down to the back of the head. Big time maneuver by Gallows right there. And now Luke Gallows here, without the guidance of CM Punk, no longer being aligned with Punk. Punk is just a one-man army with the Strategy Society. He is the Strategy Society. And now Gallows here, lifting up the big man once again, has him, and what a power slam. Luke Gallows is dominating with these big time maneuvers, but Big Show taking him down, STO. And now Big Show just gonna step over Luke Gallows. These two monsters of SmackDown facing off against each other. SmackDown they have a whole lot of monsters if you ask me. Compared to Raw, SmackDown has big men like the Big Show and Luke Gallows, of course. And of course the big red monster Kane and the current World Heavyweight Champion, The Undertaker. SmackDown, they have a whole lot down in Superstars as well, maybe Raw. I believe the only big guy that they have over there is just Mark Henry. And Henry, well, not really sure what his record is. Hasn't really been showcased all much in Nearest Mode compared to, Big Show. We shall see if Henry will make an appearance maybe on Superstars or Raw in the next couple weeks. And right now, Gallows lifting up the big man once again. Third time in this matchup, Gallows with an amazing feat of strength, lifting up the Big Show with complete ease. It's like Gallows is not struggling at all, but he's highly fatigued. Big Show's done some damage to him, and now I don't even know what that was supposed to be. A shoulder charge, shoulder tackle, same thing, different name. Shoulder block. That went on Gallows, setting up here into the outside. Goes the Big Show, falling into the concrete ground. Gallows taunting the Ray, rightfully so. And now Big Show, he's mad, but Gallows not going to let Big Show nail one maneuver here. Has him up, and Jesus Christ. The strength of Gallows once again, fourth time. The fourth time in this matchup. Luke Gallows has been dominating the Big Show. I've not seen Big Show get this much manhandled ever since, I only know this is perhaps Big Show's worst performance in Nearest Mode to date, if you ask me. And now Big Show here, he probably heard me, and now he's a little angry, and now he's going to try to take it out on Gallows, and okay, Cobra clutch into a backbreaker, then launching him. The Big Show, he's mad, and Gallows, almost lifeless, his back is most likely broken. Big Show, the pinfall in the middle of the ring, maybe a little bit of a desperation pinfall attempt, but this could actually be it. And no, it's a very close 2 count. Gallows kicking out at 2.9 right there. To be fair, I thought that was going to be it for Gallows. Gallows had a more impressive performance compared to Big Show, but, you know, Big Show, he is devastating. He hasn't been doing all the well in Nearest Mode, but maybe that could have been it to make him get his first win here in Nearest Mode. That turned out to not be it, and see right there, Gallows getting launched. Well, Gallows did that Big Show a couple seconds ago, to a minute or two ago, and Big Show returning the favor. And now the Big Show right here, Club and Blow, has Gallows will go behind. Never mind what's thinking of here. Gallows now just gonna get toyed around with Big Show into a ring post, and now Big Show has the arm. Not gonna do anything though. Gallows still favoring it though, and now Big Show here, major strike, kick right to his stomach. And now on count of 5 here, and both Big Show and Gallows run back inside the ring. And now off the ropes goes, well, one of the big men in this matchup, and Gallows, the strength, once again being showcased. Has to be the 5th or 6th time in this matchup. And yes, try my hardest to count at this point. And now Gallows jotting the big man down with a bulldog. Well, just a variation of it, very John Cena-like right there. Of course, Cena over on Raw, and the strength for Gallows. Once again, impressive by the big man, lifting up, well, a person who not only is taller than Gallows, which is a very difficult feat to do, but Big Show's been doing that for years. And also a man that weighs more than him as well. And Gallows, he really is impressing me here. Gallows is putting up an impressive performance over the Big Show. Probably because the Big Show hasn't been doing all that well in Nearest Mode. He's winless. But Gallows, either way, depending on whatever it is, he's still impressing me. I see that running STO. Nicely done by the Big Show, but Gallows, he's not down. Gallows is fighting back. Big Show's dazed after that one. And now the strength of Gallows has him up once again. And, oh my god, launching him. I swear, Gallows has done so many different variations of some power slam type maneuvers, some just manhandling him like that one. Gallows has done so many variations to just launch the Big Show, and I have to think this is it. This has to be it. Big Show can't take anymore. He's been getting launched around like, I don't even know, like what a child would do with a toy, like what a 4-year-old would do with a toy or something. I don't know. Can't really make up a good example, but Luke Gallows, he's tossed the Big Show around like he's absolutely weightless on more than 5 occasions. I have to think it's been 7 or 8, maybe even 6, 7 or 8, maybe, yeah, 6, 7 or 8 occasions in which Gallows has done that. Well, there we go. Impressive victory for Luke Gallows here tonight. Big momentum booster for him. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's it from Superstars. Thank you all for watching. We'll catch you all Friday on Smackdown.